Hi, I'm Angelia Trinidad. I'm the CEO and founder of Passion Planner, and today I'm going to teach you how to create a morning routine. So sometimes morning routines get a bad rap because they can be very regimented and like you have to do this and you should do this. But the way that I like to think about my morning routine is a time for myself to serve myself of whatever I need, whether that is a little bit more play, a little bit more movement, a little bit more reflection, and my morning routine kind of fluctuates depending on what my needs are. So I hope that as you watch this video, you really build your morning routine to serve you. So step number one is try to get enough sleep the night before. A lot of times we try to do so much and we have nothing in our tank or our battery is empty. So being really conscious about how to prep for your routine by setting an alarm or a timer for when you want to wind down. I set mine for 8:55 p.m. so that I know I have enough time to sleep so I can have a good morning. If not, then I will literally sleep until my first meeting. I will put on clothes, walk to my computer, and sit at my desk at 8:58 a.m. so I could have my 9 o'clock meeting. And that's just because sleep is super important to me. So if I need it, then my morning routine kind of goes out the window. So a good way to ensure that you can have a morning routine is just ensuring that you have enough sleep. Step two is to brainstorm as many things as you want to incorporate into your routine. What I like to think about is these are all options. That could be meditating, drinking water, flossing and brushing your teeth, going on a morning walk for 10 minutes, writing in your planner for 10 minutes, reading for 10 minutes, journaling for 10 minutes, exercising for however long, walking or feeding the dog, lighting a candle, making tea. These are all things that could be in your morning routine or not. But a tip that I have when you start thinking about different ideas is to keep it under 10 minutes. And the reason why I say keep each task under 10 minutes is because if it's 30 minutes and all of your things are 30 minutes, it adds up very quickly. So if you can find little tasks that are like 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes max, I think, at least for me, that's when I start to feel like, whoa, I'm making progress. I'm actually like checking things off. And that's what you want. You want to feel like, okay, I'm doing stuff. I'm making it happen versus, this thing is really daunting. No judgment on whatever you want to incorporate into your morning routine. Step three is to pick 3 to 5 things that you want to try to actually establish as your morning routine. I like to think of these as the bare minimum. So for me, I like to floss and brush my teeth. I like to walk for 10 minutes and I like to light a candle. And that is the bare minimum of my morning routine because sometimes your mornings are going to be hard and maybe you didn't get enough sleep. Maybe you're just exhausted and that's okay. Just having a bare minimum is so good because you feel like you did something, you feel accomplished. A lot of times people make the mistake of having a morning routine that's like 10 steps and they do maybe 9 and they feel like they didn't accomplish anything. And I think thinking that you need to do everything 100% is going to stop you from making progress. So start really small. I'd say 3 to 5 things. Even if you want to just choose one thing, that's good enough. It really is about the practice of setting aside time for yourself to be in tune with what you need and find time to make that need happen. So step 4 is to put them in a logical, chronological order. So for me, I floss and brush my teeth first, and then usually that's when I have the most motivation to move. So I'll exercise and I'll ask myself, okay, what do I want to do today? Do I want to walk on the desk treadmill and write? Or do I want to walk outside with an audiobook or walk outside with nothing? I'm just kind of like take in the sounds of the neighborhood. Or do I want to do a 20-minute workout on YouTube? Or do I want to take a walk on my treadmill? I literally will let my spirit decide whatever I want to move my body that morning. And then the next thing is I light a candle, and usually I light a candle right before I start working because when I light a candle, it becomes a visual and physical representation of how long I've worked. And when I see that my candle has been burning too much, I'll put it out and then I'll take a break. So for me, that's been really helpful in terms of not working too hard or too long. And it also creates a very consistent space in terms of smell, and it just kind of puts me in the mood to work. It's like my brain's cue that, hey, we're gonna work now. And it makes work a little bit more zen. Step number 5 is to add them onto tags. So this is something that I saw on TikTok, and I actually write my morning routine on tags, and I Roy G. Biv it. So my red one is brush teeth and floss and drink water. I actually link those together. And then I go into orange, which is meditate. Yellow is lock my phone up. And then green is read an oracle card, light candle. And then light blue is write in my planner for 10 minutes. Dark blue is go on a morning walk. Purple is take my vitamins. So this is the ideal morning routine, but like I said earlier, the top 3 things that I do are floss, brush my teeth together, exercise, and light a candle. If I do all of these, great. If I don't, that's okay, but I'll start my day with literally all of these on my wrist except for the red one, because I actually put these on after I brush my teeth. And then I see however many I want to do. And before I used to be like, I need to do them all. But now I'm just like, if I do 3, then I feel happy about it. So what's kind of nice, but really annoying, which is I guess nice about this, is that you have to do them before you can get rid of them. And this has really helped me establish my morning routine. And once I've established my morning routine, I actually don't really need them as much because I feel good when I actually do my morning routine. So I use this for probably the first 2 to 3 weeks of my routine, just so that I remind myself of the cues that I want to do. But after that, I'm like, oh, I really want to move my body. There's this kind of weird shift that has happened for me where I'm like, I feel kind of weird that I don't do it because I like how I feel after I do the task. Another way you can do this is by tracking it in your planner, by printing out our free PDFs. We have our habit tracker PDFs that you could print out and cut out and just put in your back pocket and tape them in the week whenever you want to use them. Again, don't be too hard on yourself by not doing it 100%. I like to congratulate myself for doing 50%, sometimes even 30%. I really check in with myself, think about what else is happening in my life. Maybe some sort of perfect storm has happened within Passion Planner or within my personal life, and I'll just be really kind to myself. And I really see my morning routine as a gift that I give myself in the morning, as like that quality time that I think at least my spirit and my body needs for me to just feel at peace. So yeah. So step number 6 is to make sure that you have a list or your bracelet somewhere you can see. So I like to put this jar where I brush my teeth, and in the evening while I'm brushing my teeth in the evening, I'll try to find where they are. Usually they're on my desk or they're in my room, and then I'll put them back in the jar so they're ready for the next morning. I always know that I have to start my day and end my day in the bathroom, so that's where I like to keep my habit tracker stuff. Step number 7 is to attempt to do your morning routine. And you can do this with imperfect consistency. And when I say imperfect consistency, I think about consistency over a long period of time. A lot of times people are like, okay, the first 2 weeks I'm gonna go really hard into it, and then they fall off for the next 2 years. What I'm thinking is, let's try to be imperfectly consistent over the course of 2 years and really take that timeline and expand it, because the way that I see it is habits are really hard to build, and they take time, they take patience, and they are also happening while the rest of your life is happening. And maybe like there's a death in the family, or maybe someone gets sick and you have to shift your priorities and your morning routine isn't as important. If you fall off the horse for a week or a couple months or even a year, I hope that you see this and you're like, maybe I'll try my morning routine again. Attempt to do it, and as you do it, I hope that you start to feel the changes that happen in your body as you continue to give this gift of a morning routine to yourself. A lot of people have read it takes X amount of weeks to make a habit. And the way that I see it is when you try to build habits, you actually need to shift your mentality towards how you see that task. Is that task a burden, or is that a help to you? And when that shift happens from drinking water actually makes me feel good versus drinking water is something that I have to do, I think that's when you actually build a habit, because it becomes a part of your identity. It becomes a part of something that you want to do for yourself. When you think about people that really love watching Netflix, it's not because they've created a habit intentionally, it's because watching Netflix makes them feel good. So when you can design the habit in a way that makes you feel better, whether that is if you want to exercise, making sure that the exercise is something that you enjoy, I think this is the most direct way to build a strong habit and keep it over the course of your life. So I hope this is helpful, and I hope that your morning routine helps you fill your own cup as you navigate the world. And remember, it doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to start. All right, bye.